Testing, testing. Is this thing on? Hello, my name is Anna and I am lost but found, and I haven't made a video in over a year, but I'm back and I have a lot of updates. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Let's go back to bed. Piero is gonna be here with me for moral support. First things first, where am I? I am in Mexico City currently with my family, which lives here. I am home alone. Well, not so alone. Okay. Okay, or just lay down. That is cool too. Alright. So the water takes about 10 minutes to heat up. So meanwhile, I'm just gonna choose my outfit. Well, first things first, I'm not traveling anymore, at least not full-time. I am currently living in Southern California studying TV and film in a community college. So I already have an outfit chosen. So now I'm just gonna take a shower. I think my whole life I've just been after one objective, and that's not brought me so much joy. And I think that objective was always to make, I don't know, it's like it was always about being perfect. I'm a perfectionist, and it's really hard in all aspects of your life. I don't think people realize how many creatives are actually perfectionists, unless you are one of the creative perfectionist. But the one question I always wondered in the search for perfectionism was, who am I? You know? Who am I? Like, who am I? I was born in California. Am I Californian? I was raised in Texas. Am I a Texan? I forgot my towel and I don't want to go outside in the cold. The good thing is no one's home. It's so cold. My parents are Mexican, so I'm Mexican, no? Here's the thing. I know my sisters didn't have the same response to our childhood, even though we had very similar ones. Mia, it's just closed. So I find myself feeling like I'm crazy for having some kind of identity crisis my whole life. Additionally, I recognize that answering the questions of where you were born or where you grew up or what your nationality is don't necessarily answer the question of where are you from, let alone the question of who are you? And I know I'm not alone in this because I've met plenty of other people that have questioned where they belong or where they fit in, especially people that have moved a lot. Like when I moved from Texas to Mexico, I was considered the gringa, the American, that was snobby and didn't want to talk to anybody. But the reality of the situation was I was scared that I would say something wrong in Spanish or in general because I'm a perfectionist. I forgot I told myself I would wear this shirt today, so I'm gonna change real quick. And then all the times I moved from Mexico to California, I would always get questioned of whether or not I am Mexican because I quote unquote look white, which I never know how to respond to. Essentially, my life has been a constant bombardment of these huge life changes that have forced me to continue to relearn, to adapt to constant change. All this to tell you guys that another big change is happening next year. I'm actually going to be living in a van. Now, before I explain as to why this is happening, I would like to rewind a little bit. I'm really bad at making a long story short, but I'm gonna give it a shot. A few years ago, I decided to break up with my long-term boyfriend and quit my job, and I decided to use my newfound freedom to find an online job and start traveling the world. I was what you would consider a digital nomad. Unfortunately, during my first few trips, I experienced some sexual violence by people that I met abroad, and it's still affecting me to this day. Coming to the end of that year of travels, I met someone and we started dating. What at first seemed to me like this dream come true of a fairy tale turned sour once I slowly started realizing how emotionally and mentally abusive as well as manipulative this individual was. But that's a story for another day. Cuando dejé de viajar, me metí como en una mentalidad muy fea de, ay, no, pues ya vivo aquí, entonces no voy a hacer nada. Ya me dejé como ese espíritu aventurero. ¿Tiene sentido? Entonces ya dije, ¿por qué lo dejé de hacer? O sea, ¿en qué momento me dejó de entrar la motivación de...
Think it's time to call it quits. The kitchen tap is broken. Drip, 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 drip.
So after I finally had the courage to leave that nasty relationship, I ended up finding myself in this deep slump where I just didn't want to travel anymore at all. And that did not feel good. I not only stopped working, but I stopped living. I accumulated a whole bunch of debt, and I became so stuck in my self-pity that nothing could help me escape it. Then one day, in hopes of getting myself out of that depressive slump, I bought myself a one-way ticket to California, and I had no plans really, but I ended up receiving the opportunity to go back to school, and I took advantage of it. And little side note, Coyoacan is like literally one of my favorite places in the world, so I'm like so happy right now.
Take me back to Mexico, that can sun would turn the sun or high on me, wanted to vibe with me.
And now it's been a full year since I decided to become a full-time film student in Southern California. And honestly, I just see van life or van dwelling as the natural next step. Now, if the question is, am I ready to live in a van? The answer is no. When I think about it, I've never been or felt ready for any big life changes. There's honestly like a billion things that could go wrong, but there's a few things that could go right. And I'm willing to take that chance. I can't deny it. I'm scared. I'm excited, but I'm nervous. Now, the only thing left to do besides prepare myself best I can is to try to gather all the life lessons I've accumulated and put them into practice. Hi, Peru. Chucky? Chucky? Hi. I'm no longer home alone, but I'm the only one awake. The truth is, it's been a really hard year, and I know it's gonna be a hard year next year too. I just hope that I'm able to react to it differently. My pajama pants are drying. The life lesson I've been most excited about learning is that I don't need to strive to be perfect. I just need to strive to be better. A better version of myself. Easier said than done. I know. I get it. But I'm just hoping I can get through this year. So yeah, here's to 2020. Student life. Living in a van. We can do it. I can feel it.
I got a message from my mom telling me how proud she is of me. It's happy tears, if you can't tell.
I just want to have a roof over my
I
head.
think it's time to call it quits. The kitchen tap is broken. Drip, 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 drip. Dirty dishes in the sink. We've been laying here for weeks, weeks, weeks. We're not talking anymore. It's like we're scared of trying. So different from when we started off. No, we're just like. I think it's time to call it quit. I think it's time to